friends, welcome to Toppscholars. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word chemistry? Maybe I know your answer. Is it a chemical structure or a chemical formula? I know that most of you might be struggling in order to remember the chemical elements, chemical formulae, as well as chemical equations. In fact, most of you might have made your mind that you're not able to remember these chemical formulae ever. So here I am to change your mind. Yes, you heard it right. In today's video, we'll be discussing how to write a chemical formula easily. So let's start. While studying the chemical formula, you need to just understand the logic behind it and not just simply mug up the entire chemical formula. For example, the chemical formula of magnesium chloride is MgCl2 and not MgCl3 or MgCl4. But why is this so? This is because the chemical formula of a compound depends upon the valency of the element. So friends, magnesium has the atomic number 12, so its electronic configuration becomes 2, 8, 2. That means magnesium has 2 valence electrons. Magnesium loses these 2 valence electrons and forms magnesium 2 plus cation. These 2 electrons that are lost by magnesium are accepted by the 2 chlorine atoms, thereby resulting in the formation of 2 chloride ions. Now friends, the net charge as a result of these 2 chloride ions is -2, which is balanced by the +2 charge on magnesium, thereby resulting in the formation of magnesium chloride, that is MgCl2. Similarly, the formula for magnesium oxide is MgO and not Mg2O or MgO2. This is because the +2 charge on magnesium is balanced by the -2 charge on one oxygen atom. So the most important thing to remember is that the valency and the chemical symbols of the elements. So let us have a look at the chemical symbols of some important elements. At the same time, the valency of the element also plays a very important role in determining the chemical formulae of a compound. So let's have a look at the valency chart. Radicals that are placed in column 1 have valency 1, whereas radicals placed in column 2 have valency 2. Elements like copper and iron, which exhibit variable valency, are placed in column 3. So now you're quite familiar with the valency as well as the chemical symbols of the elements. But how do we write a chemical formula? The name of any ionic compound consists of 2 parts, that is, the cation, which is the basic radical, and the anion, which is the acidic radical. Always remember that the first word is the name of the cation, that is the basic radical, and the second word is the name of the anion, that is the acidic radical. So now let us take an example, that is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is made up of sodium and chlorine. So the first step is to write down the symbols of the radicals. So the symbol of sodium is Na, whereas the symbol of chlorine is Cl. But here always remember that you need to write down the symbol of the basic radical on the left and the symbol of the acidic radical on the right. The next step is to write down the valency below the respective radicals. So the valency of sodium is 1, valency of chlorine is also 1. The next step is to cross multiply the valency. So let's cross multiply the valencies like this. Hence, this method is called as the criss-cross method. Now, the last step is to write down the chemical formulae of the compound. So the chemical formula of sodium chloride becomes Na1Cl1, which can also be written down as NaCl. So the chemical formula of sodium chloride is NaCl. Now let's take another example, that is sodium sulfate. How do we write the chemical formula for sodium sulfate? Don't worry, it's quite simple. Just follow the simple, easy steps again. Sodium sulfate is made up of sodium and sulfate. So the symbol of sodium is Na, whereas that of sulfate is SO4. The next step is to write down, the valency of the radicals. So the valency of sodium is 1, whereas that of sulfate is 2. Now, next step is to, cross multiply. So cross multiply the valency like this. So The chemical formula of sodium sulfate is Na2SO4. But how do you write down the chemical formula for aluminium sulfate? Aluminium sulfate is made up of aluminium and sulfate. So the symbol for aluminium is Al and sulfate is SO4. Next step is to, write down the valency below the respective radicals. So the valency of aluminium is 3 and that of sulfate is 2. Now let's cross multiply the valency like this. So now the formula of aluminium sulfate is Al2SO4 3. Now if you come across such a situation, you need to simply put a round bracket like this and not multiply the number. So the formula becomes Al2SO4 3. But the chemical formula of calcium oxide is CaO, although calcium and oxygen both have valency 2. Why is this so? Now as you can look over here, we have 2 as the common multiple. So let's divide the valency by 2. So we get 1 and 1. Now on cross multiplying the valency, we get the formula as Ca1O1, which is written as CaO. So the chemical formula of a compound can be written down by using 4 simple easy steps. That is, step number 1 is to write down the chemical symbols of the radical. Step number 2 is to write down the valency below the respective radical. Step number 3 is to cross multiply, whereas step number 4 is to write down the chemical formula of the compound. So friends, I hope that you find this video quite useful and now you're quite confident in writing down the chemical formula. If you like our video, hit like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching this video.